Today I will discuss Narcissistic Personality Disorder, the key features indicating a diagnosis, the impact on individuals and their interpersonal relationships. An individual's personality is the combination of their traits and qualities that form their distinctive character. It is their characteristic patterns of thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Personality disorders comprise deeply ingrained and enduring behavioral patterns manifesting themselves as inflexible responses to a broad range of personal and social situations. They represent either extreme or significant deviations from the way an average individual in a given culture perceives, thinks, feels, and particularly relates to others. Such behavior patterns tend to be stable and to encompass multiple aspects of behavior and psychological functioning. They are frequently but not always associated with various degrees of subjective distress and problems in social functioning and performance. So, what about narcissistic personality disorder, which is a type of personality disorder? Meet James. At first glance, James seems like the epitome of success. He's charming, ambitious, and always the center of attention in any social gathering. However, beneath his polished exterior lies a personality shaped by narcissistic personality disorder, impacting not only on his life but also those around him in profound ways. James's sense of self is like a fragile glass sculpture meticulously crafted to dazzle and impress. Each facet represents a different aspect of his personality, polished to perfection to conceal any imperfections lurking beneath the surface. But just like a glass sculpture is susceptible to shattering under pressure, James's carefully constructed identity is fragile and prone to collapse at the slightest hint of criticism or rejection. He constantly seeks validation and approval from others for self-definition or regulation of his self-esteem, whether it's boasting about his latest promotion or excessive reference to others or fishing for compliments about his appearance. James relies on external sources to define his worth. His emotional state is a roller coaster mirroring the fluctuations in his self-esteem. One moment he's riding high on praise and admiration, the next he's plunged into despair at the slightest hint of criticism. In his pursuit of validation, James sets goals that are often solely aimed at gaining approval from others. His personal standards are either unreasonably high, striving for perfection to maintain his front of superiority, or shockingly low, driven by a sense of entitlement that expects success to be handed to him on a silver platter. Despite his apparent confidence, James is often unaware of his own motivations, blindly chasing after validation without considering the consequences. So let's talk about his interpersonal functioning. To people who don't know James, he's charming, attentive, and often uses tactics like love bombing to gain their loyalty. However, his interpersonal relationships are marred by his inability to empathize with others. In reality, he struggles to recognize or identify with their feelings and needs, only tuning in when it serves his own interests. His friendships are superficial, existing solely to stroke his ego and boost his self-esteem. After the initial rosy period, James's partners often feel like mere accessories, valued only for their ability to admire and worship him. Despite his outward charm, James lacks the depth and authenticity necessary for meaningful connections. Pathological traits of narcissistic personality disorder are evident in James's behavior. He exudes an air of grandiosity, firmly believing he's better than those around him. He craves admiration like a drug, constantly seeking validation from others to fill the void within himself. His attention-seeking behavior borders on obsession, constantly striving to be the center of attention in any situation. The impact of James's narcissism extends far beyond his own life. When James's partners begin to see through his facade of charm and confidence, it often marks a turning point in their relationship. Initially drawn in by his charisma and apparent success, they may start to notice inconsistencies in his behavior and a lack of genuine emotional connection. As his partners peel back the layers, they may uncover the manipulative tactics James employs to maintain his sense of superiority and control. they might realize that his grandiose stories of achievement are exaggerated or outright fabricated, designed to impress and manipulate rather than reflect reality. They may also notice his insatiable need for admiration and validation, realizing that their role in the relationship is primarily to stroke his ego. For James, the revelation that his partners see through him can be a blow to his fragile ego. He may react with anger and defensiveness, lashing out at those who dare to challenge his perceived superiority. Or, alternatively, he may attempt to manipulate the situation, gaslighting his partners into doubting their own perceptions and reality, leaving them with no confidence. Friends and colleagues tiptoe around him, afraid to challenge his ideas or offer constructive criticism for fear of setting off his explosive temper. His manipulative tendencies strain relationships, leaving others feeling used and emotionally depleted. Despite his outward success, James's life is a lonely one, devoid of genuine connections and meaningful relationships. In conclusion, James's narcissistic personality disorder has significant implications for both his own life and the lives of those around him. His impaired personality function and pathological traits leave a trail of broken relationships and emotional turmoil in his wake. Until James confronts his inner demons and seeks help, he will continue to cycle through the destructive patterns of narcissism, leaving a path of destruction in his wake. Guidelines also point out 9 different features of narcissistic personality disorder, at least 5 of which must be present from a young age and follow a pervasive pattern that professionals look for when diagnosing the condition. First, inflated self-esteem or a grandiose sense of self-importance or superiority. Second, craving admiration. Third, exploitative relationships like manipulation. 4, little or no empathy. 5, identity is easily disturbed, that is, can't handle criticism. 6, lack of attachment and intimacy. 7, feelings of depression or emptiness when not validated. Number 8, a sense of entitlement. And number 9, can feel like others are envious of them or may have envy for others. Remember, diagnosis of narcissistic personality disorder, as any other personality disorder, requires evaluation of long-term patterns of functioning. One needs to be cautious and not jump to hasty conclusions. If you have enjoyed today's video, please subscribe to my channel. The more subscribers I have, the more ability I have to make more creative videos. Please like it, share it, tell it. Tell it to all the people you know. Thank you for watching.